Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome to PNP. It's your boy Rashad, one half of PNP. And today I got to update y'all on this salary cap, okay? There's a lot of moving and grooving going on by Scott Fitterer. He's moving and grooving, pissing off other fan bases, making other GMs look foolish as to why they can't go out and trade for a Stephon Gilmore for a 6th-round pick. A future 6th-round pick, that is. So he's making a lot of people mad. But we got to see how this impacts the future salary cap of the Carolina Panthers. It's important to take a look. It's early, but we got to take a quick peek to see what we have going on right now. All right. Now, before we get into that, man, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, get in these comments. Let me know what's good. Okay, we on the road to 15,000 subscribers. We got to get there before the end of the year. So let's go ahead and make that happen. Hit the subscribe button for your boy and let that algorithm pop so we can get up to 15K. All right. Appreciate y'all support and love y'all for it. All right. Now let's go ahead and get into this. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the salary cap for 2022. Right now, as you can see, the salary cap is $26.4 million. This is subject to change, but as of right now, this is where we're at. And also, you can see we have $13 million in salary cap in 2021. That's important because you can roll that number over into 2022 for the unused cap space. So right now, let's say we don't spend another dime in 2021. We have $13 million. We're able to roll that over into 2022, and that will get us approximately $40 million in cap space. Okay, that's how that works. Also, you got to subtract a little bit for the rookies. So in 2022, we're going to draft a draft class, and that draft class must be paid. And you want to subtract at least $7 to $10 million for that. Okay, so you're going to look at about $30 million usable cap space, and that's subject to change, right? We could release some guys, we could sign some guys, but as of right now, that's where we sit. Okay, let's take a look at the top free agents that we need to sign. Okay, these are guys that are under contract right now, but in 2022 they are not under contract. So these are guys we need to potentially extend. Okay, Hassan Reddick, he's got to be number one on the list. This dude has been dominating, although he did disappear in the Dallas game. Outside of that, he's been cooking, okay? He leads the team in sacks right now, and based on over the cap's valuation, they value him at $17.5 million per year. Now, let me just say this. Let me reiterate this for 1,000th time. Just because your average contract is $17.5 million does not mean your cap hit is $17.5 million. So we can fudge the numbers, move some things around, and adjust that contract in 2022 so the cap hit is not as big, okay? But on an average year basis, he's worth about $17.5 million. That's a lot of money. I hope we can re-sign him, but this is why I was a big. I didn't like the Robbie Anderson contract. I did not like it because we got bigger fish to fry. Hassan Reddick was one of those guys that I felt like we could have used that money for. But it is what it is. I think you can still make it work. All right. So average contract value as of right now for Hassan Reddick, $17.5 million. Stephon Gilmore, we have not seen him play, right? He could be completely washed up. I don't anticipate that. But as of right now, based on what we've seen from Stephon Gilmore in the past, his average market value, if he were to hit free agency, is going to be $14.1 million. That's a lot of money. Both of these guys are top. They're premier guys. They're going to command a lot of money. Now, with these two guys, they have connections, right? They have connections to the Panthers. Hassan Reddick, will he do Matt Rule a favor? They go back. They have temple ties, okay? Stephon Gilmore is from the Carolinas. His wife also said that she wants to stay here forever in Charlotte, okay? They're from here. They have a house here. They stay a couple houses down from Scott Fitterer, all right? So they wanted to make a home here. And hopefully he will take a hometown discount and maybe make it work for us, okay? Now, another guy we got to talk about is Dante Jackson. Dante Jackson is a guy who's playing well right now. If he hits the market right now, he's going to command about $7 million on an average, okay? So that's a decent amount. I think he's worth that. I think that's a pretty good deal for Dante Jackson. A number 2 cornerback, solid play right now, and he's coming off his rookie deal. So I think this is a guy you got to bring back. I think he's playing well. And again, you bring him, Dante Jackson back, Stephon Gilmore back, J.C. Horn, C.J. Henderson, and A.J. Bouye. That is a hell of a cornerback room, okay? I don't think there's a better cornerback room in the league if they were to bring back all those guys. Now, Stephon Gilmore, again, with Stephon Gilmore, we may not bring him back. He could be a chess piece. Also, if we don't sign him, re-sign Stephon Gilmore, he could potentially work out and give us a comp pick. Okay, so that's important too. Keep an eye on that. Daquan Jones, a guy who's helping us in the trenches right now. He's a little bit older, but if he were to hit the market, $5 million on average contract. Okay, so Daquan Jones, I think he's important. He works well with Derek Brown. They're doing good things in the interior. So I'd like to see Daquan Jones back. Marquise Haynes, rotational edge rusher, not going to command a ton of money. Same with Frankie Louvu, not going to command a lot of money. Although both of those guys could command a lot more money than what's seen on the open market, right? If they want to stay here in the Carolinas and they see potential in what the Panthers are doing, they can say, all right, I'm staying. I'm going to take a team-friendly deal. But those guys could get a bigger deal out in the open market for guys that are hungry for edge rushers, okay? So somebody could hand them a $6, $7, $8 million per year contract, and they might jump at that. Same with Jermaine Carter. I think Jermaine Carter, he's playing like a $4 million linebacker. And he could command more than that if he hits the open market. So it's just something to watch with these free agents, all right? But tell me what you guys think about that. Tell me what you guys think about that list. Is somebody else that needs to be added to that? Let me know. Now, these are additional free agents that we have coming up. These are lesser priority to me. Matt Paradis may become a priority. I know a lot of y'all think he's not playing very well, but it's a bit scary to see what's behind him. So you may want to extend Paradis for another year depending on what happens in the draft. I don't know. Justin Burris, I think we can do better than Justin Burris. I like Sam Franklin, and I like Sean Chandler. Sean Chandler is also on this list, so we may want to prioritize him if we let Justin Burris walk. JJ Jansen, we got another long snapper waiting in the wings. So we drafted him in the 6th round. So Thomas Fletcher, shout out to you. You're going to be probably coming up next if we let JJ Jansen walk. Trent Scott, I think we're going to bring him back. He's a rotational tackle that is solid. I don't think you want him starting, but I think he's decent in rotation. John Miller, not playing so well this year. Probably going to walk. Julian Stanford, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Julian Stanford. Although he's a special teams guy, he's a Temple Connect, so we'll see what happens. Rashawn Melvin, he's getting older. I doubt he comes back right now. He was a veteran presence, but I don't think he comes back, especially based on that cornerback room. Alex Erickson, he's a kick returner. Could bring him back, not sure. Royce Freeman, running backs come a dime a dozen to me. Don't really care about Royce Freeman like that. And we got Chuba and C-Mac, so I'm cool on Royce Freeman. And Brandon Zilstra, got to bring back Brandon Zilstra. That's my guy. So got to bring him back. And I spoke about Sean Chandler earlier. And Ian Thomas, we can probably let him walk too. But may want to, I don't know, they may re-sign him. I don't know. But these are less priority guys that are coming up to be free agents as well. All right. Next up, we got restricted free agents. These are guys that we have control over their contracts. They essentially got to come back to us before they can go elsewhere. PJ Walker, Kamal Martin, Giovanni Ricci, Clay Johnston, Mike Punishik, Colin Thompson, and Matt Caskey. All those guys, we're entitled to their contracts. They've got to move through us first. So I'm not really concerned about any of these guys. Even PJ Walker, they can all walk as far as I'm concerned. All right, so these are potential extension targets. DJ Moore, Sam Darnold. DJ Moore's playing really well right now. Right now, he's a top 5 wide receiver in the league, in my opinion. And so his number is going to do nothing but go up and up and up every year. So you might want to go ahead and get in front of this and sign this man. Next year, he has an $11.1 million cap hit, which is his 5th-year option contract. So you might want to go ahead and get ahead and sign DJ Moore as soon as possible. If you extend him, you could potentially lower that cap hit and make life easier from a cap perspective in 2022. Sam Darnold, I get it. Probably want to do a wait and see with Sam Darnold, see how he pans out the rest of the season, and potentially make a decision. But I feel like that decision needs to come before the 2022-2023 season. Because that number is going to go up. Quarterbacks are getting paid insane numbers, and his number could go up, especially if he plays well behind this terrible offensive line. Just imagine what he could play like with an offensive line based on what he's doing right now. So shout out to Sam. He's playing well, and you got to consider an extension for Sam at some point if he continues to play the way he's playing right now. So just keep in mind, right now, $18.8 million, that's a steal. You want to keep him at that number in 2022. That is a complete steal. But in 2023, you may want to consider an extension to lower the cap hit that could potentially occur because his average contract per year could be around 30 to 35 million. And that's going to be probably cheap, considering what contracts could be in 2022 and 2023. So you got dudes right now getting paid $40-50 million per year for quarterbacks. So it's a lot of money, and you might want to go ahead and get dudes locked up sooner rather than later. All right. Okay, so these are release candidates. These are guys that we can go ahead and get rid of in 2022 to recoup some money. As you can see, Pat Eflin, if we let him walk, that's $2.3 million. Cam Irving, letting him walk next year would be $2 million. Listen, these guys exactly who we thought they were. They're not it. I don't know how they got the contracts they got. And so, I mean, that's really it. I mean, it's really nothing. We don't need a deep dive. These guys ain't it. Go ahead, cut bait. All right, so that is your current salary cap status. It's interesting. It's really interesting. We've got some really big free agents coming up. Okay, there's a lot of decisions to make, and I think you're going to see a really aggressive Scott Fitterer in 2022, 2023. You're going to see contracts with voided years on the end. You're going to see some of that same thing that the Saints did to keep some of the guys that they kept. It's important to understand that the Panthers are going to be in their window. Right now, we got some guys that are ballers, and they're not going to get any younger. So that window is starting to open. This year, we could potentially make the playoffs, but next year is when the real run begins. Okay, that's when the window is all the way open, and you're going to start seeing a really, really aggressive fudging of the numbers by Scott Fitterer. And that's what the Saints do. That's what all good teams do to keep their talent. You can't keep talent. You can't continue to let talent walk out the door. That's what the Panthers did when they were in their windows in the past. Marty Hurney, David Gettleman, those guys would let guys walk. And when there was ways to keep those guys. You have to play with the numbers, get aggressive, do what you need to do to keep that talent when you're in the window. And even then, it didn't work for those guys, so we still ended up in cap hell because they were paying the wrong guys. Instead of paying the right guys, they paid the wrong guys and put us in bad cap situations. Right now, I see Scott Fitterer doing the opposite. He's paying the right guys, and when you pay the right guys, you can play with the numbers when you're drafting good talent and keeping the right guys. So I have no problem with being aggressive and pushing money into later years, as long as you're doing it for the right guys. All right. That being said, if you got any questions about the salary cap, drop them in the comments section. Let me know if you got any questions. This is good. This is good stuff. I think we're doing good things. Scott Fitterer and company, they're drafting well. They're being aggressive in free agency. They're being aggressive with trades. So I love it. I love what the Panthers are doing right now. More power to Scott Fitterer. Love what you're doing, bro. Keep it up. That being said, guys, like, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.